Fly, Eagles, fly.
On the road to victory.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. On the road to victory. Eagles, Eagles!
So is that what being a realistic fan looks like, y'all? See, that right there was the homie Cole's Cowboys, and he is probably the largest representation for the realistic Cowboys fan conglomerate. And like I just said, is that what being a realistic Cowboys fan is? Singing Fly Eagles Fly, rooting for the Commanders and saying that they're going to win the division and probably go to the Super Bowl and giving them all the credit in the world, giving them a bigger benefit of the doubt than your own team. Is that what being a realistic fan is, y'all? See, yeah, the title says what it says. And ultimately, who cares if I'm wrong? Am I going to get some kind of award from ESPN or somewhere sent to my home for correct predictions? Am I going to be getting commendations from other teams and fan bases for me being a realistic fan? AKA an overly negative, eternal pessimist towards the outlook of my team, always assuming the worst possible outcome, veiling that as being realistic, even though being realistic would be seeing that the Cowboys have shown very bad football this season and very good football this season. We've seen them beat a now 5-2 Pittsburgh Steelers team in Pittsburgh in a gritty game off of a game-winning drive, and we've seen them get the brakes beat off of them by the number one team in the NFC. We've seen both sides of the Cowboys, yet the realistic portion of the fan base only wants to focus on the negative side of the Cowboys, ignoring all of the negatives that these other teams are carrying along with them as well. Like, seriously, what are we as fans gaining from walking around only assuming the most negative possible outcome for our team? It's to the point now where fans are seeing two burning vehicles hurtling towards each other on the highway. The 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys. Both of these vehicles are on fire right now. Just in case y'all didn't know, go check out 49ers land. They're not happy over there, and they have a lot of issues with that team as well. But Cowboys fans, we see two burning vehicles hurtling towards each other, and for some reason, being realistic means to assume that the 49ers vehicle is going to come out unscathed and they're going to come out extinguished somehow, whereas the Cowboys vehicle is just going to explode into 1,000 pieces upon impact. But that's being realistic. Being realistic would be looking at both of those vehicles on fire and seeing that each vehicle has equally as much chance as exploding as the other one does. But, oh, I get it. People are being realistic because they're trying to act like that keeps them from feeling so much pain when the Cowboys actually lose, when it's actually not. You guys are feeling twice as much pain as the optimistic Cowboys fans. You know why? Because optimistic Cowboys fans are enjoying the football season. They're enjoying watching the sport of football. They're enjoying cheering their Cowboys on. They're enjoying all throughout the week thinking that the Cowboys are going to win that game, and then when we lose, they're mad, they're upset, they're sad, they're on the TL angry, and they have to deal with that loss. But that's one loss that optimistic fans have to deal with. You see, you realistic or pessimistic fans, y'all are literally mourning each loss twice or even multiple times, because all throughout the week leading up to every game, you're trying to figure out how deep and how wide of a grave you need to build for the Cowboys. And all while you're digging that grave, you're mourning the season. You're mourning the state that the team is in. You're mourning the potential outcome of an upcoming football game. So that's one loss you're dealing with throughout the week already. And then we actually lose, or if we actually lose, you have to mourn the actual loss itself. You digging that grave all throughout the week doesn't make the sting from losing any less. And I know that's a fact because I see you guys. I see the Coles Cowboys of the world. I see these people out here being negative, trying to dampen the blow of having expectations for this team, and y'all still mad when we lose. You see, dampening the blow will be digging that grave, mourning the loss of your team, and then not giving a damn at all, being completely apathetic when the Cowboys actually lose. But instead, you're mourning 2 losses, realistic Cowboys fan, versus myself and other Cowboys fans who choose to be a fan more than an analyst. We're only mourning 1 loss when the team actually loses. Any other time than that, we're actually enjoying the football season. See, we're getting more enjoyment out of the product than you are, because you choose to look at a hobby, a pastime, something that's supposed to be entertainment. You choose to look at that and be hypercritical and want to lie to yourself and try to play all these mind games with yourself to make being a fan more palatable for yourself. But it's a lie, because you still hurt when we lose. You're still upset when we lose. You see, I don't gain anything for being negative towards a team I dedicate my personal time to. And I don't care enough about being right all of the time to automatically assume the worst for my team in favor of being looked at like a smart fan by other fan bases that I could care less what they think about me or my rooting interest, because my rooting interest goes directly against their rooting interest. So of course they're not going to want me to be confident in my team. Of course they're not going to want me to be positive towards my team. Of course they're going to want to hear me be realistic, meaning be negative about my team, because it makes them feel better about their rooting interests. Dum-dums. You see, I don't have any legitimate real football reasons to why I should feel like the Cowboys are for sure going to destroy the San Francisco 49ers. And to be quite frank, I can probably think of at least a couple of reasons why we may get our asses beat by the 49ers. But I choose to believe in my team in a game that has so much more to gain if we were to win than we would if we were to lose. I choose to believe in my team one last time, to be positive about what my team can be one last time in a game that could be vindicating for the entire fan base. Y'all do realize that one win against the San Francisco 49ers is going to completely change the complexion of this entire season. Y'all do realize that, right? It'll completely change how fans view this team. It'll completely change how fans are feeling about the trajectory of this season. So why wouldn't I, as a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, why wouldn't I want or hope or have wishful thinking towards the Cowboys actually winning against the San Francisco 49ers? Why wouldn't I? Why would I instead, as a fan, go on every post, join every conversation that is talking anything positive about what could be for the Cowboys? Why would I, as a fan, go to those conversations, put myself in them situations where I'm trying to tell everybody, no, you shouldn't think good about the Cowboys. You shouldn't hope anything good happens. This team sucks, man. You need to be realistic, man. That's not being realistic. That's being pessimistic, actually. That's the exact opposite of being realistic. Realistic would be allowing room for a positive and a negative outcome, being objective, right down the middle. We're 3-3. That's what this team has showed us. Positive and negative outcomes. That's why I'm saying that. Being realistic in the fashion that y'all are making it seem would be the Cowboys being 0-6. And that would be then assuming that they're going to lose any and every game that they play. That would be a more realistic situation, don't you think? You see, that's the difference between the people that are being realistic fans and being optimistic fans. The realistic fans are carrying the weight of every one of those 29 and 30 seasons that the Cowboys haven't been successful. They're carrying the weight of every one of those games that haven't ultimately led up to a Super Bowl. They're carrying the weight of every one of those moments into every single week. And it's making watching the sport way less enjoyable for them than what it should be. And it's making y'all look at losses way more dramatically than what we should be. No matter how many points we lose by, it counts as one loss, y'all. It counts as one loss. A blowout doesn't automatically eliminate you from the playoffs. A blowout doesn't automatically eliminate you from even trying. A blowout doesn't automatically eliminate you from blowing other teams out and getting better throughout the season, which is the beauty of watching a football season, is watching your team evolve as the year goes on. But you know, you're right. Y'all are all right, bruh. We're all being delusional. We're not being realistic enough. Instead, we should all continuously mourn the loss of the Cowboys multiple times every single week. We should dig their grave early in the week and mourn the loss of them starting on Monday every week, and then put them in the grave on Sunday and actually mourn them being gone, right? We should mourn them twice every week. We should mourn every loss twice every week versus the optimistic fans. They're only having to feel this thing from that loss once, because every other time they're enjoying the season, they're enjoying the essence of watching the game of football as a fan, and they're not trying to put themselves in the shoes of someone who's responsible for being right all the time, which a lot of you guys seem to be in those shoes where you feel like you need to be right because you're going to impress someone. News alert: no one gives a fuck. You're not going to get an award. No one's going to give you a pat on the back. No one's keeping score of what you're right and wrong about, or what predictions you're right and wrong about as a casual fan. They may be keeping score for me, but guess what? I make it very clear. I lead as a fan first. This is a fan-based platform. I am not trying to make myself more than I am. I am not trying to take myself more seriously than what I am. I am not an accredited journalist, and I am not an analyst on national television. I am a fan with a fan-made platform, rooting for my team as a fan. I just happen to be very good at giving football analysis and objective opinions and whatnot as it pertains to the sport. But as far as what I hope for, what I'm rooting for every week, what I'm going to try to speak into existence every week, is I'm going to try to speak positive outcomes into existence for my team every single week. I'm going to hope that I see my team win every single week. There's not a time where I'm hoping to see the Cowboys lose, especially not at 3-3. I'm not looking at tanking. I'm not throwing a season away. We're 3-3. We're one game out of first place. Knock it off. We steal them same old Cowboys, and I feel real sorry for the way some of y'all
calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.